Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fat Mascara, a podcast about beauty culture, which is our new tagline. I'm Jen Sullivan.
And I'm Julie Wilson.
Hi, Julie Wilson.
Hi, Jen Sullivan. What's going on, girlie?
I know your voice has not been on the pod in too long.
I mean, I was depriving the people.
The people need you.
They need me. I'm back, y'all. I'm back.
I'm so glad. How's your January going?
It's going. You know, this is my birthday month.
Are you one of those month people? Like, we can't just have the day. We need to make the whole month about you.
I feel like that because my birthday is the 25th of January, in which it's all the way at the end. So if we gotta extend it. I gotta celebrate all the way leading up to it and then after it.
Of what is arguably the longest feeling month of the year.
Yeah. I feel like January really drags, but I love it because we can just celebrate me more.
Which is what we'll do this entire episode then, of course. It culminates with a celebration of Julie. What are your little celebrations? Have you been out and about in the beauty world? What have you been up to?
I've been busy. I feel like it's fast and furious. 2025 came in like strong and a little bit wrong, but strong. Strong and wrong. But we're here. I've been going to all of the events, blah, 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 blah. Last night I was at Caviar Caspia at the Mark Hotel. Are you jealous?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I actually really like caviar.
It is so good. I mean, the $200+ baked potatoes with like mounds of caviar.
Do you sometimes sit back and look at your life and be like, what? I imagine this was for beauty. Or maybe you just went, maybe on a whim, you just went and had a baked potato. I don't know.
No, this was for a beauty event. Augustinus Bader. Hello, fancy. Fancy meets fancy. You can't have a Bader event without having a fancy venue. And so, of course, it was at the
Shake Shack. Yeah.
Right. So they are launching a new product, which I cannot tell you about because embargoed. We sign NDAs for a living, you and I. So I can't say anything, but it's Bader. So it's going to be good. It's going to be relevant, all of those things. You'll be excited when you hear about it. So they had it in a suite. We went up to a suite at the Mark Hotel, looked at the new product, and then came downstairs to Caviar Caspia to have a dinner with him and some other fancy editors and friends.
So Augustinus was there.
He was there, and he's looking
Did you call
good.
him Augie? What did you call him?
I was just like, Mr. Bader, like Dr. Bader. Hi.
Bow down.
Bow down. But it's so funny because I think we were in the same when he first launched. Remember, it was like downtown. What hotel was that when it first came out? And he was just so nerdy and in his science coat and all of that. And it was so exciting to hear all the awards he'd won for all of the technology that he'd created. And now he's putting it into skincare. But it was so funny to see him last night. And he's it looked like an Armani tailored suit. His hair's slicked back. He was like, I've made it. And I was like, you have, my friend, you have.
A Bader glow up.
A Bader glow up. He looked fabulous and rested and great. I'm like, you're clearly using your products. You're clearly making money off of them because we're not in our lab coat anymore.
Yeah. That's funny. I just replayed an interview we had done with Anastasia Soare from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I pulled a new photo of her it had been an older interview. And she's another beauty founder that I was like, she looks younger and fancier now than she did before. I feel like there is a thing that happens to beauty founders once the investment comes or...
Yeah, as it should. You work hard. The masses love it. The people are at your feet. You might as well look good while we're celebrating you and buying all the things.
Wait, is he fun? I don't know if I've ever met him.
We were too far away at the table to chat it up, but he was very nice. At the end of the night, he came around and said hello to everyone and thanked everyone for coming. He was very personable. He's not I don't think he's a chatty type person, but you could tell he liked to be there and amongst the people.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I'll take some. Did you have a baked potato with caviar?
Of course. That's what you do. We had options. It was a fish, a beef, and then the potato with 30 grams of caviar on top. And I'm pretty sure most of the room had the potato. You don't go to Caviar Caspia without putting that potato in your mouth.
if someone told me 30 grams means nothing to me right now. If you said 30 milliliters, I could do it because of the beauty conversions.
Right.
30 grams.
It's
2 tablespoons?
It's a big, it looks like about 2 tablespoons, yeah,
You know, I'm
of
from
like
New York. We
caviar.
don't use the metric system that much.
It's about, this is a $200 potato. I don't know what to tell you.
America, any given night in New York City, you never know.
It's fabulous. And I am grateful on high that I am able to experience these things without dipping into my own wallet.
I feel like I took a different beauty route last night. I went to a variety show about I know. Here I am. I told you last time we talked, I'm never going to Broadway again, right? Because I just can't handle it. This was not Broadway. This was at the New School, and it was a variety show about bathing culture. I had no idea what I was getting into, but I was like, okay, we're a podcast about beauty culture. I feel like bathing culture is a subset of that.
What was it called?
It was literally called the Bathing Culture Variety Show. So that's why I had I said to my friends, I was like, I might be walking into a bunch of people naked, like a bathhouse. There was no even when they described the show, it was just you'll experience a multi-sensorial. And I was like, what am I getting myself into? And you get there, and it turns out it was put on the guy who was the MC. One of the MCs was the one from Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR. And the other was the man who started the High Line. His name's Robbie Hammond.
Oh.
And he's really into, no joke, bathing culture, bathhouses.
Like spas,
Not spas, the hammam of it all, or the sauna.
Yes.
Or I can never say the word, starts with a J, in South Korea. The proper public bathhouses that all over the world, so many cultures have this.
Sojo, the Sojo or Spa Castle, love.
Yes. Or if you were in Japan, you went to the onsen. That would be the outdoor bathing culture. But of course, the Finns and the Swedes, they love it. Mm-hmm. And I know you love a Scandinavian moment.
I also went to the launch of, have you heard of Nera? Nerra?
Yes, the foaming shower oil with the scrubby mitt.
They had an event this week to celebrate their launch in Nordstrom.
Yeah, that's bathing culture.
Yes, it's a whole bathing culture thing. So yes, I have the box set of their products. I haven't broken them out yet, but they have the whole exfoliating mitt and all of the things that you need to do, the whole ritual.
If you were to go to the hammam and get a proper scrub down, which I've done at a hammam, and it's fabulous. But this variety show was to showcase how in different cultures around the world, everybody has their bathing culture. And then so Robert Hammond, the guy who started the High Line, is now part of this Therme group that is trying to bring bathing spaces to America in the same way they are in other places, community. There's this place, Othership in New York City, that's a new bathhouse that people are going to. I mean, they've been down, the Schwitzes have been down in lower Manhattan for years, but...
Right. But isn't there a place called Bath House that just opened too?
Yeah, they're starting to, I've been seeing more of them. And there's a very famous one downtown that there's 2 different owners. And if you paid for a package at one owner, you can only go on Tuesday, Thursday, not Monday. That's the old school, I don't know, Russian kind of Jewish with they beat you with the tree bough kind of vibes. But you're getting the, everybody's getting the picture.
Hookup spots too?
Oh, yes.
Stuff?
Yes.
I'm always am I going to the bathhouse with the happy ending type situation? Or am I going to a bathhouse where I just can steam my toxins out of my body?
I want to have this guy on the podcast to talk about that because I think Americans have a different connotation of bathhouses than other countries. When I go in other countries, the nakedness is not a big deal. Or you're wearing a bathing suit. And it's you'll be hanging out in your bathing suit, sipping tea and having business meetings in the sweat room. And it's no big deal, which is so un-American, right?
Yeah. It's just I don't know. I like it. I'm here for it. But I feel I'll walk into one and make the wrong gesture. And
and then all of a sudden be brought to a side room for... I think that probably is some bathhouses. And if you know, you know. And maybe that is why it's had... You know what? I want to have this guy on the show and ask him about that. the history of what it is in America. But the variety show was like all over the place. There were like synchronized swimmers, but not in a swimming pool, like doing a dance. There was like a sound therapy. There was a guy who literally got up for 3 minutes, put on, remember those old school projectors with the transparency paper, and the teacher would project,
Yes.
and they would do like a math equation on the transparent paper and you'd see it up on the board. He literally got up with one of those. I don't even know where he found that machine or what it's called. Is it a transparency projector? That sounds wrong.
It sounds like just projector. I don't know.
We need
projector?
some boomers up in here to tell us. And like drew a picture of his bathhouse in Norway and told us about it and then left the stage. And it was delightful. It was just so quirky.
Like you would recommend it. Like I should go.
I don't think it's like an ongoing thing. It was just this one-time thing because there was... So I got a VIP ticket. It was almost starting, so I had to rush to the front. They're like, sit anywhere in the first 5 rows. It was dark. The lights come on, and all of a sudden I look around me and I'm like, what's going on here? Everybody in the first 4 rows was like 6'4" plus. And they all looked like ruddy, healthy. I was like, what is going... There's a bunch of models around me. It was very white. It was like all a bunch of white blonde people. It was the most un-New York thing I've ever seen. Come to find out, 10 minutes in, I was in the industry seats, and these were all the owners of the bathhouses around the world that were in town for this. Like, I know, I was so out of place. But it was really fun. Do you feel like, should I have someone on to talk about bathhouse culture?
Absolutely. I think it's like you said, there's more and more coming about. They're opening. So I feel like it is a thing that is going to be a part of people's life, or at least an option for people to go to. And so they should have an explainer, and they should come to Fat Mascara for that.
Yeah, I think if we were all living in Oslo, this would not be a big deal. But Americans, I think, need an introduction to it, or a reintroduction.
Absolutely. Because if I
maybe not with a variety show, but maybe with a podcast episode from Fat Mascara.
Because I don't want to like accidentally tug my left ear and then
you really hung up on this. I'm going to find out for you.
I feel like the remedy houses of it all and stuff, I feel like we're fine there. Those are very just like mainstream. But like I am fascinated by those old school ones. You know, there's ones that are like strictly men, and so I wouldn't go there.
Yes.
But like some of the old school ones, it's like, is there history there as such that people go there knowing that they can go there to like sweat out the toxins, but they can also go there to like find some lovin'? And I just want to make sure that if I go there, I don't do the thing to signal that I need the lovin'.
Okay, if I have this guy on to talk about this, I'm going to have you as the call-in.
Yes.
And I'm just like, we just have a question from our contributor, Julie Wilson, and we will address.
Look, we're journalists. We have all the questions.
Yeah.
All respectfully.
I think they're very different experiences we have, but both in the beauty world. Should we talk some news? Do you want to hear?
Yeah.
We want to talk about what's going on? All right, let's do that. Okay, it is time for the news. Big news out of Sephora. Actually, lots of news from Sephora, but the one I wanted to talk to you about was they're redesigning their stores.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you saw this. Actually, some stores, if you're in the United States, you will already start noticing these changes in the stores. But I was thinking about this because they got so much noise this whole past 2024 about how there's so many teens in the stores now and it's crowded sometimes and this and that. So I was thinking like, what a fun job, A. B, what will they change? So I got some notes on what they're changing, but I'm curious to hear what you think. Do you go in there regularly?
I do not. I think it's because I live in a Sephora warehouse. My apartment is a Sephora warehouse. My office is a Sephora warehouse. So
fair.
There's really no reason for me to go into Sephora. I love a Sephora, but there's no reason for me to go.
Well, for me, I feel like I go in there because I want to see how... I feel like sometimes I get presented a product with a press release, sometimes in a nice box, and it's not the way they're educating the consumer about it. Or I like to see what the people see, Julie.
Sometimes if I'm like with a friend who's like, I have to go in there, but then I feel like, I don't know, I get on my little high horse. Like, you know, the people come up to you like, have you tried that? I'm like, yes. 6 months before it came out. Like,
I know.
Part of me is like, girl, save your breath for the girl over there. I've got every single color of that lipstick at my house. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not like lipstick lesbians levels of fame, but every time I go to Sephora, I'm like, is someone going to come up to me and know who I am? Of course they don't.
But so famous. And they should. They
She's in
should
beauty
actually.
influencer.
Right.
No.
But like it almost feels weird. And then
It feels funny.
sometimes it feels funny because also sometimes they're not as educated on a product. And I'm like, you should really lead with the niacinamide, sis. Like,
I
don't know.
know,
Like
I
sometimes I'm
know.
like,
Well, I started my career at Sephora and went through the retail associate training, even though I was in the corporate office. So we had to spend time in.
okay. Receipts?
Yeah. So I have like a soft spot for it. So I was curious to see. But I have been going more, especially now that I'm independent journalist and don't have like a beauty closet at the Hearst Tower, like some other contributors on the show. I go in there quite a bit, and I thought the flow of the stores could use something. So there's two big things that they're changing. And one was interesting. Apparently 25% of shoppers at Sephora use mobile checkout. And the first time I did this at a store like a couple of years ago, I was like, this is genius. Wait, I don't have to go wait in line. You just came to me with a little cash register in your hand. A la Apple, I guess, was one of the first to do that.
So smart, because I hate a line. I hate waiting in line.
Everybody hates a line.
I hate it.
But lost retail opportunity, says Sephora CEO Artemis Patrick, because when you're standing in that line, there's a little minis and the grab and go. So what they're doing is they're making those more mobile so they can move those little grab and go touch point purchases around the store so you'll see them more often. So even if you're doing mobile checkout, you don't miss out on all that fun little stuff and they don't miss out on the sales.
I mean, we've talked about this in the past, but like with the drugstores, putting everything behind, like they've been starting to talk about now, like they're losing sales, like that sort of thing. Like you gotta let the people get to the stuff.
Well, if you go to a Target or Walmart, there's always those like cute things that are nowhere else than right up at the cash register.
Yes.
So they don't want to miss out on that, even though people are using mobile. So that's one thing. And they're also, this one I thought you'd think was really interesting. You know how a lot of Sephoras have where you can get your makeup done, or they used to have, I'm not sure if they do, like get your eyebrows down with an Anastasia rep. So apparently people, this is the quote from Artemis, the CEO, quote, "The reality is shoppers didn't want their makeup being done in the windows." Not shocking, but they wanted more lighting. So they used to be at the windows because you'd get that natural light, but then you feel like you're on display for the other shoppers.
Absolutely. First of all, shout out to Artemis because she's a queen of the highest order. But like you said, it just makes sense. And it feels like a VIP if there's area away from it all that you feel like you're a tutorial for the world.
Yeah. I thought maybe that was just me who didn't like to be on display getting makeup done or whatever. You feel a little self-conscious. I feel a little self-conscious.
For sure.
I don't want to be your demo model.
And I want to ask questions that maybe I don't want the world hearing. People walking around hearing me ask.
Yeah, it's an intimate moment.
Yeah. And I like that. I think that that's a cool kind of feature now to present. It's kind of like, Ulta has their whole salons and it's kind of taking a little page out of that book.
Right. When you go to an Ulta, like I've gotten a facial at an Ulta, it's in a separate space. It feels like more like a beauty studio kind of space. So I think that they recognize that and are going to shift some things around.
I know it's gang wars, Ulta, Sephora, but we can take pages out of each other's books and remix them and do it your own way. So I'm excited to see how Sephora brings that to life.
Me too. Also coming to life from Sephora, this literally right before we got on the mics, I was like, what? So we pre-record, as you guys know, but today, January 22nd, is when this premieres. Sephora has sponsored a 3-episode, a Hulu program. It's Get Ready With Me videos, but with music artists. So Chappell Roan, Victoria Monet, and Becky G each apparently have an episode. Obviously, I haven't watched it yet because it literally just dropped. But what was interesting to me is that it's on Hulu. Do you have a Hulu subscription? Are you going to be able to watch this?
I do have a Hulu subscription. Because guess what I've been watching, which nobody told me how fabulous it was.
What?
Is Broad City.
You're new to Broad City?
I am new to Broad City. Me and my husband are deep. Every night after we put the kids to bed, we are like, Broad City? And he's like, yeah. And we go in.
Jealous.
I think we keep trying to figure out why we didn't know the brilliance of this show. And I think it's because when it first came out, I was having Orion. We were first-time parents, and we were just in the mom and dad of it all. And we were in that fog and didn't hear about people talking about Broad City. And then when that whole viral thing was in the club, we all fam. Remember that?
Is that from
That's
yeah.
from Broad City. And so I was like, this is hilarious. Ilana is hilarious. Abby is
She's so
hilarious.
good. Yeah.
And we were like, where did this come from? Oh, a show called Broad City. We watched a few episodes, cooked. So that is why I have Hulu. Going back to Sephora's Hulu situation, I
Wait,
will
pause.
be
I want to go
watching
on
it.
Broad City some more because I feel like there's so many memes. Like if memes were a thing when Broad City first came out, Alana's like the most memeable person alive.
She is hilarious. She is so good. We are in stitches. We were like, this chick is crazy.
Yes.
Fire. But then again, I didn't know. We got to get her on here. You got to. I met her a few weeks ago or a few months ago at a thing.
Wait,
when
what?
at this thing at PAC NYC, they did this whole icon series, and I like interviewed Allie Love, the Peloton girly, and she was there interviewing or getting interviewed by someone else. But anyway, I met her, and it was at the height of the in the club, we all fam. And so I like said it to her like a dork, and she was like, haha. And I'm like, oh, Jesus.
No, you didn't.
We did get a picture. It is on my Instagram. But I hadn't seen one episode of that show. All I knew was that meme. And I was like, you're hilarious off of that one meme. And now watching the show, I'm like, I am a true fan now. Now I would have been even more embarrassing when I like see her again. Because I'm going to be like.
You don't get like that,
I'll be sweating. You? I do get a little nervous around people that I appreciate their art.
But you interview celebrities all the time.
I know, but like there's people that you appreciate and you can like talk to them and stuff. And then there are people like, you're my spirit and like the BFF in my head. Like I got like that with like Tracy Ellis Ross. I want to be like your friend. I want you to like me in real life, not just as a journalist. So that's when I get nervous. Like it's one thing just to be like, I'm interviewing you. Let's write this story. I really respect your art and your work. And it's another thing where it's like all of those things, but also can like we get a drink?
Like, could you keep it together for Tracy?
Now we're cool. I've met her a million times. She's so great. When I first met her, it was hard. I was like, oh my God. Because again, I respect her art and the work she puts out, but I like wanted her to like me. Not just like the fact that I'm reading an article about her. I wanted to be like, girl, you're cool. Like we should hang.
It's hard to do your job when that feeling arises. Like if you have to do an interview and remain objective and you're like fangirling so hard inside.
Exactly. Now, I mean, I gave her the like, in the curb, we all fam, because I was just like, oh, whatever. She's the girl from like that
this lady.
But now I'm like, oh my God, you're the coolest. And I want you to be my friend.
We got to like have your paths cross again. I mean, now you might be dorky about it. You might be even dorkier, but I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway.
For the audio medium, Julie just did the robot dance.
I just did the robot dance. Like, oh my God. Like, what do I do?
Because you're nervous, so you're all like oiled up and stiff? Okay, got it.
Stiff, and you're all like, oh, how do I say this? And where do I go with this conversation? So I don't know. I won't be as cool the next time I see her. But I'm sorry to get off topic, but that is why I have Hulu, and I will be watching this Sephora show.
Okay, moving on to the next thing. All right, so there was a new study that came out. I wanted to talk to you about Bread Financial in partnership with Ulta. Oh, good. We have look, I did my Sephora item. Now I'm going to do an Ulta item.
Come on, Ulta.
Yeah, this was an online survey of almost 2,000 respondents, 18 and up, talking about beauty and beauty rituals. There was a point that I thought was interesting. I wanted to ask you about. 46% of consumers indicate that beauty products bring joy to their lives. And I was like, okay. And then 1 in 3 respondents say beauty rituals and beauty routines are a way for them to express their true self. And I was like, wait, what does that mean? And dug into it. It's like identity, like who the brands are that you use says something about you. And they broke that down by generation. And that was very much the case at Gen Z. Like more than half of Gen Z thinks that the beauty products they use represent who they are. But when you go up to like the boomer level, at boomer age, only 20% of people thought that. So
they're just there for function.
There might be a connection to the brand, but it's not like you pull your lipstick out of your bag and you want people to see which brand it is because it says something. So my first question to you is, do you think of the brands that you've curated, not in your beauty director world, but like just Julie as a person, that they reflect your Look at her nodding so hard.
Absolutely. No, it's absolute. And I don't know if that's a function of us being storytellers and journalists, but like
Yeah.
we get so deep, we like understand the marketing, the ethos, the founders. So like I find levels of pride. Like when I take out like a product, I'm like thinking about all that.
Yeah.
Like maybe because it's so insider baseball and we know so much. But I'm like, when I'm putting on my Ami Collet, I'm like, I know Jada. I know how passionate she is about this. I know the work that went behind it. And I like the marketing. I like the lifestyle aspect of this brand. And I hope someone asks me when I'm wearing on my lips because I can tell them how fabulous this
I
brand
don't think
is.
it's a function of your job. Because like, I think even if you weren't a beauty director, you'd be an Ami Collet girl. Do you know what I mean? Like,
For sure, but I do think that maybe it pushes me to be more of that girly because I know so much.
right. And I do think more now people know the stories behind their brand. That's why younger people feel that connection. But I was thinking about this. I'm like, oh yeah, look at my granola shit around my house. I got Flamingo Estate, like
Come
hand
on,
soap.
Flamingo Estate.
I feel like there's a lot of outdoorsy stuff that I like. It represents who I am and my personality. But I was thinking about my mom and like her friends. So she's of the boomer generation where only 20% feel this way. And I do remember though, my mom was like a Mary Kay lady because her friend sold Mary Kay. But she had this one friend that was a Lancome lady. And I know this because one time, and this sticks in my memory, she came from the mall to my mom's house and had a baguette with her, like the bread, which I had never seen before in my life. I was like, what is that skinny breadstick? And she was like, this is a baguette. And I was like, what does that word mean? Why is there makeup with it? I thought it was the coolest, Frenchiest. And forevermore, that woman, Susan, her name was like,
Come on, Susan.
a little bit chicer than my mom. I'm sorry, my mom's the best. My mom's just like the coolest.
Right.
But like she was a different lady because she was a Lancome lady.
And do you feel like your mom didn't feel the pressure to like rise to that occasion because she didn't see the fanciness of it and was like, okay, girl, you can have your Lancome, but like my Mary Kay works just as well?
I don't think she even thought about it. I think it was more a service. Like, does this product work for me? Good. Or for my mom's case, she liked the social aspect of it. Is so-and-so going to stop over with my products and we'll have a nice chat?
Right.
I think in generations before, and that's the shows in the data, like you didn't think of it as an extension of your identity politics, like the products you use.
Right.
They were just like my lipstick and my face cleanser.
Yeah. I kind of like that for beauty and for us that like
I like that change. Yeah.
That change. Yeah. That it can be this extension of who we are.
The one other stat I had to share with you, because I don't know how I feel about this. So men are also turning to beauty as a source of joy and self-care. Apparently, from the survey respondents in this, men are spending more than women on beauty and grooming products with an average monthly spend of about $90, whereas the women in this survey had an average monthly spend of about $80.
Really?
First of all, they led with this headline when they presented this data to journalists, and I was just like, I had to get nerdy on it. I was like, okay, think about the people who are going to take an online survey for Ulta/Bread Financial. There's got to be something going on here because I just don't know that I see that playing out in like the larger world.
And do you think that the men that are taking the survey really actually know how much they're spending on? Like, I don't think my husband, if I asked him how much was that deodorant or something, he would give me a correct answer.
That's such a good point.
He'd be like, $10. I'm like, babe, that deodorant's like $6.99. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he'd just be like rounding up or like more dramatic about it and be like, this lotion costs $25. I'm like, it's $7.99.
Yeah, or it's part of like
down.
The family trip to Walmart and it's on that check. So like, how would I know my Dove Men Care soap was? Yeah, I think that this is just a group of people who love shopping online. And so maybe it's like overrepresenting the men who love shopping for beauty and grooming stuff online.
I'm going to take that with a grain of salt, this survey. Sorry.
Okay, last, I want to go to the science corner. Let's go to the science corner. Okay, so I think I have to set this up, this new research that came out first with asking you, do you know what a fatberg is?
No, tell me.
So in the sewer, you know how they say don't flush cooking oil or don't put it down the sink drain? We all know that. New Yorkers know that. British people know that. I guess people still use Cottonelle and flushable wipes. I remember seeing news about, be careful about flushing them. There was a fatberg formed in England, both baking grease, cooking grease, flushable wipes, the things in the toilet. It just became this mass. Okay, sorry, it's gross. But they cleaned it out, but these things still form in the sewer system. It's very natural, and they have to pull them out and do it. Well, this dude, his name is Stephen Wallace, decided that he's going to turn and think about what else is in the sewer. I mean, these fatbergs are gross. He's going to turn this pooberg into perfume. So here's what's going on.
I don't want it. No one asked for this.
No.
I don't
but
want it.
Now there's
Keep
all this,
it.
wait, it's upcycling. Hear me out. Okay, so he's designed a way to have bacteria come in and eat the fatberg and create a particular molecule. And it turns out, I'll just tell you how it's done. They sterilize the mass, the fatberg mass. They infuse it with a special strain of genetically engineered bacteria that eats away at the fat and produces a molecule. This happens to be, this type of bacteria, an aroma molecule that smells like pine and is very coveted in the cosmetics industry and used across the cosmetics industry to create a pine-scented fragrance. So I think it's upcycling. You're 6 steps removed from the fatberg and you're still freaked out?
I'm good. No, the visual of them doing all of this just to make some pine scented. Now I'm going to be like, any fragrance with a pine note, I'm going to be like, ugh. I don't know. Like, did we need this? Is this actually helping the environment?
These big fat masses, they have to dispose of them somehow. And so he knows that bacteria feed on certain types of fat. So got this idea for that reason. And it happens to be, this is the byproduct. Why can't we upcycle it?
If it's truly helping, fine. But, like they're saying, like AI is now using all of this water and it's taking up all this energy and blah, 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 blah. It's like, is it one of those things where we think that it's actually more efficient, but it's actually taking more energy to get this byproduct? I'm just kind of like, just break it down. Do we need to do all this other stuff to like extract the pine scent?
Is this a novel just to show it can be done and it's not actually the greenest way to do it? I need to, you know what? You bring a very valid question, Julie Wilson.
I'm just saying, let's dig
This is what
deeper.
Science Corner is all about, digging deeper, finding out the why behind the what, if you will.
Yes.
Man, you just ruined my poo to perfume headline.
I'm also just grossed out by it, but okay. There's like tampons in there, I'm sure, and like
no, it's purified and sterilized, but I'll let it go. You're right. I need to look more into why he's doing this, but I did think it was interesting.
It's fascinating,
the upcycling of it all and the fat. Yeah, I don't know, and I just wanted to be able to say fatberg on the Fat Mascara podcast. So there you go.
You did the right thing.
Okay, let's go raise wands where it's safer. We'll go over and that's a nice safe space. Okay, no more fatbergs. Fatbergs are off.
Thank God.
So with Julie's fatbergs, with Jess, I'm not allowed to talk about eye health ever because that weirds her out.
Okay.
Garrett's going to be on soon. I'm going to have to ask Garrett what his no-goes are. But let's raise wands. It'll be better. We have a listener from Southern California. Take it away.
Hey, Jen and Jess. My name's Christina, and I'm calling from Southern California, although I'm originally from Brooklyn, so you may hear that in my voice. I just finished listening to your latest podcast, and the idea that Jess brought up, the Relife by Fresh, just blew me away. And the reason I say that is because that fragrance needs to come back, and so if you guys have any pull, let's try to get that done. But the other fragrance that is continuously brought up is Stella. And so I want to tie that all together because for this year, I really hope we get back into some light, fresh scents because I'm a personal trainer and those two in particular have always been really good for me to wear when I'm working because I just like to feel a little special, a little bit of joie when I'm training. So if you guys have, like I said, any pull in the beauty industry, we need to do something to get those two back. Love the pod and keep doing what you're doing. Thanks.
Christina, thank you for calling in. Also, Southern California friends, we're thinking about you. I'm glad she's doing okay. So Lev is the co-founder of, Lev and Alina of Fresh fame. Should we put in a call? I don't know if they still have sway over there.
I mean, they're over there making the Maker fragrances.
They could redo this one under the Maker line, maybe. I just looked, Fresh Life Eau de Parfum, $160 on eBay.
Like, I remember Fresh as Sugar. I would wear sugar.
Yeah.
But I didn't know this one. But they're in the perfume making business. They can just create, maybe they might have a maker fragrance that aligns with this one that we just don't know about.
Yeah, I got to look into this for Christina. I remember Sugar Lemon. Like there's certain scents within the Fresh line that I knew had a bit of a following. But after Jess mentioned this one on the show, I realized more people than I know really like Fresh Life Eau de Parfum. Bring back the sparkle.
Fresh is iconic. So I'm sure this fragrance was amazing. And like, again, why don't they recreate it over at the maker?
Well, we just put it into the ether. We'll manifest that for her. Thank you for raising a wand, Christina. Other listeners out there, call us 646-481-8182. You can leave a message responding to something we talked about in the show, telling us about a random product you love. I have so many more to play of people trying to help me get my brushes clean. So I'll probably play those as well. You can keep those coming. Julie, do you need anything from the people? Do you need any suggestions right now?
What do I need suggestions of? I'm looking for a good liquid eyeliner that does not, like, you don't have to wait to open your eye.
Because it's still wet and it hasn't dried. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Or am I like just doing something wrong? Maybe my eyes are just shaped not the right way. I don't know, but I keep trying.
Reframe that. You have wonderful eyes. Maybe the liners don't dry enough fast enough for you.
I know, but so maybe someone can tell me that they have found one that they really love.
Do you put your liner on and then just like keep your eyes closed and fan for a little bit?
Yep. I have to, because every time I'm like, no, this is going to dry quickly. I open my eye.
Is your lid slightly hooded? Are you always wearing glasses? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's
slightly hooded lid. So like it always does it. And I'm just like, cool. Like I don't mind keeping my eyes closed for a little bit, but I feel like it's extraordinary long for some of these liquid liners. I need to find one that gives me the sharp line and then dries immediately. I'm sure someone out there loves
my
one.
favorite right now is the Lisa Eldridge Kitten Flick. However, I don't know that I can say it's fast drying because I don't think that's been something that is like an attribute I look for. I've never thought about it, but now I'm really going to.
Okay. Please let me know if you find one.
Yeah, and you don't want it to be dry, but then not give you the sharp and the dark color that you want.
Yes.
Ooh. I think the fam can help you. Call us. Call Julie. She won't pick up. It'll leave a voicemail, 646-481-8182. Or you could go into Spotify in the drop down on the comments. Just drop it in the comments after the episode. Fast drying liquid liner. Okay, your turn to raise a wand.
Okay, I'm raising a wand to a brand that most of us know because it's been around for a while, but Josie Maran, queen of argan oil. Hello. If you know, you know. And she has rebranded this past year. And it is so cute. The rebranding is so cute. These are actually her refillable. She's got like her glass jars of her body butter. You can buy those and then buy one of these packets to like refill it.
What is that you're holding that looks like a yogurt pouch?
Yeah, it's like a pouch.
Is that the body?
This is the body butter. And so this is considered the refill pouch that you can get that you will refill your glass jar of body butter in.
Yeah.
But I kind of just like use it out of this pouch because it's just so cute.
Well, we know how you love to oil up and like...
You know I love to moisturize.
Grease up a Julie.
You got to moisturize, folks. We're not going to be ashy out in these streets. Definitely not. So this, I just love it. I just love the rebranding. I love the ethos. It's still the formulations we know and love, but like new scents, new packaging. Like it's just great. I love what she's doing. Plus, shout out to her for galvanizing the beauty industry right now with the wildfires happening in California. She has created this kind of gathering group of 30 plus beauty brands called Beauty Together. And she's doing kind of like telethon type shopping things on like her Instagram where she has the founders come in. And if you buy their products in this 24-hour, 48-hour, whatever period, all proceeds are going to relief efforts. I have a list here like Sol de Janeiro, Merit, Summer Fridays, Tower 28, Youth to the People, House of Lashes, Goop, Lawless Beauty, Floor, St. Jane, Forever Mood, Huda Beauty, Seven Virtues. It goes on and on of all of these companies that have come together to really give some money and some light to this devastation happening.
Yeah, because I've been getting lots of notices about beauty brands and what they want to do to support. And some are donating products, which is obviously important if people have lost their home or they're en route or they can't get back to their home and just need toiletries and beauty products like that. But like even more so right now, funds. Great to have a new face wash, but people need to rebuild their lives. So I love that they're recognizing that and they're not just putting like some extra product they had sitting around for marketing efforts.
But they're doing that too, which is great. Like people need that stuff, but the fact that they're saying the sales of our product in this whatever hour period.
Yeah, last week for 2 days,
period.
she put 100% of profits I saw, or it might have been 100% of sales towards the funds. I like that the different brands are getting together. Instead of like a piecemeal effort, let's band together. So raise a wand to
community.
Yeah, raise a wand to that.
Let's go.
To Josie Maran as well.
Josie Maran and Beauty Together.
I love that. Well, now mine feels lame, Julie.
Oh my God, no, bring it. It's never lame. Tell me.
So sometimes I like to pop into C.O. Bigelow. It's like just the best place to hang out and see what's going on.
I go into C.O. Bigelow.
And I want them never to redesign their store because it just feels like such a New York moment. If you're ever in New York City, you have to go shopping there. There'll be like the little old lady that's like getting her orthotics. And then there'll be the Instagram-y TikTok girls trying to find Carolyn Bissette's headband. And it's all happening like it is a drugstore. It still looks like a drugstore from the 1800s.
It's apothecary. It's great.
It is. It's so great. So raise a wand to them. But new product that I found there that I was like, you know what? I think I could use this. It's called Vocal Zone Throat Pastilles. So
wait,
I don't know if you know this.
Familiar. Hold on. Pull that up again.
Vocal
No, I
Zone
haven't seen those.
Throat Pastilles.
Tell me more.
I just noticed there's Braille on this. I love when there's Braille on packaging.
I love that. Come on, inclusivity.
Yes. Well, I don't know if you know, I talk for a living. It's kind of my job, and I'm just a talker. And
we run our mouths for a living. They pay us to run our mouths.
That is, you host a panel at night, you're on the podcast in the day, and I don't get a cold, but sometimes my voice just does not sound the same. So I was like, maybe those will help. And it's not mouth wetting spray. You don't get whatever. That's the whole thing about that. Yeah, I love these.
Do they taste good?
There's a bit of an anise flavor to them, which I actually love black licorice. So, but that goes away, and then it's peppermint and menthol. But there's this myrrh tincture that apparently they're different than any. It doesn't feel like an Altoid. It's not just like, cool, you made me minty, but you didn't help me feel better. For a second, when you put it in the first time, it's a little bit like weed. There's a sativa to it all, if you will.
I'm here for that.
And then that goes away. I think that's probably the myrrh. Could you see myrrh maybe giving a
But there's no
cannabis
THC in it.
No,
so
nothing like that. I probably shouldn't even have said that. I was just talking to you, my friend, forgetting that thousands of people were listening.
I get it. But I'm just saying, you might be giving them an idea to make a THC version.
Oh, for inflammation in your throat, maybe. Yeah.
And to get high. Hello.
Well, I don't need that if I'm going to be on the mic. That's the last thing I need.
That's
thank
true.
you. But I just need a moist throat that feels a little bit better. And I've been using these. There's probably people out there that are singers that know about this that are like, Vocal Zone, we've been doing that for years, but it's new to me. So I wanted to raise a wand to it. So raise a wand.
And I will be going to C.O. Bigelow this weekend to get some.
I think you would really enjoy it. Wait, and then you got to tell me if you think it reminds you of weed for a second too.
I will.
Okay.
Your phone will be blowing up this weekend.
There's a Fat Mascara fam group text. I don't know if you saw this, Julie. I felt bad.
I was at lunch and I had to mute it because I was like, oh my God, like they're going in. And so I was like, let me just mute this. I'll get it back to y'all later.
That's the thing about group texts. Like I have other ones going, and if they go off when you're not paying attention, does that ever happen to you? Come back to your phone and it's like 48 new messages.
I thought it was my son's school. Like I was at a lunch and I was like, my phone is going
Julie, and
crazy.
Jen.
I was like, what's going on? And even Melissa, who I was at lunch with, was like, is everything okay? I was like, it's the Fat Mascara thread. It's okay. Like I'll get back to them later.
Yeah, you didn't even need to. But I always feel bad for the person on the group text who hasn't. You can tell they're not paying attention. Because I'm like, they're going to just come back to this and their phone's just blown up. And
yeah.
Just to fill you in, there you go. I think it was about that guy Nicholas that Jess is obsessed with. I don't know, the new Armani person. Anyway, you can ignore those 48 messages and instead start a new thread once you try Vocal Zone and let me know what you think.
Done and done.
Done. All right, everybody, get your beauty sleep. Stay safe. Be grateful that you have a bed to sleep in.
Absolutely.
I'm being extra, extra grateful this week. It's reminding me so much how lucky I am to have a home.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm getting like a little...
Oh, you're getting a little verklempt.
Not just for California, just like when it's cold in New York too. I just feel so grateful to have a place to lay my head at night.
Super grateful. I walk around being like, thank you, I can walk. Thank you that I can like do this. I think if we all move through life with that grateful heart, things will be better, people will be better, interactions with people will be better. And like, I just love that you even got emotional about that because it just shows that you care. We should all care.
That surprised me.
And we're
That's so on me. What's going on?
No, but like the world is quite literally on fire. And we should be so grateful that we have what we have and then do whatever we can do for people that are in need.
Yeah. So get your beauty sleep. Be grateful. We'll see you on Friday.
Yay.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
It's your reviews and feedback that help us make the podcast even better. Head over to iTunes to rate and review us or email your thoughts to info@fatmascara.com.
We also want to answer your beauty questions and hear what products you love. To share a Razor One product review or to ask a beauty question, email us at info@fatmascara.
If you send it as a voice memo file, we can even share your voice on the podcast. You can also do that by leaving us a voice message. Our phone number in the United States is 646-481-8182.
Thanks so much for listening.